Hello, Brian Scott from the Mystic Skull. I made a video earlier of a unboxing of the Flashback, and I realized, boy, I look really like an idiot after I did the video and I I said I wasn't going to actually try to turn the camera on or anything during the video because you never know what's going to happen. Good thing I didn't. So I posted it and then I start really trying to figure out this thing because there's no instructions. Comes with no instructions. Um, so I erased that video. I'm just like done with that. This is a video to tell you don't buy this camera. Let me tell you why. So in a way, they did exactly what they went out to do. They made a camera that gives you the experience of using a film camera with all the bad things attributed to it. So, for instance, now I wasn't going to buy this camera, but then heard that it did RAW. I thought that's really odd. They all these things that I hate about it beforehand, they've changed. It now does RAW also. You didn't have to download it to their cloud and they had your pictures for a while. It now just goes to your app. I mean, they just changed everything. I thought, boy, they're really doing good. I'm going to try it. But here's the thing, and this is listen up. I don't know if they're Gen Zers or I don't know who's in charge over there. Whoever did this, listen up and very good. Form false function and less is more. They didn't learn it. Or I guess maybe they did or in the wrong way. So I'm going to compare it to this. This camera is more practical and does more for me than this camera does. And in fact, this camera, because they were trying to get to a certain way to make it work like film, is less useful in the wild, as you would speak, than this camera. If I'm going to a party and I want to take a picture of my friends, this is not the camera. Don't use this camera. This is the camera. Why? On this camera, if it's charged up and I take it to the party, it's going to last. It will last all night. I assure you. The battery on this thing is amazing. And I can just keep taking pictures as long as I have film. I mean, room on the memory card. I think you can take like 1,000 pictures. I um, I actually to get it to I think it's 999. That was like 3 months worth, and I took pictures every day. I mean, even I can sometimes take 100 pictures easily in when I go out on a photo shoot. Sometimes I've even done 300. But to get to filling this thing up to where you have to download to the computer, it's going to take a long time. It's you're okay for the night. You go out with your friends, you have this. I can take the pictures, your friends can take a picture. It's easy. This takes, what is it, 27 pictures. Click, 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 click. When it's done, then you have to download them and start anew. Now, to be fair, you can also, and this is the only reason I haven't thrown this into the garbage. You can also plug it into your computer and download them that way. Though I think you have to have but you have to have it on the digi-film mode, not the camera mode, the film mode. there's 2 modes. The film mode, click, 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 I now have to take it to my, phone and process it through the app, which takes 24 hours. That's all fine and good. And also, the only way to add a filter onto the picture is through the app, not through just putting it into the, computer. You can't do it. When you put it through the computer, through the digital digi mode, all you get is, the regular full camera effect, and, you do get either way, you do get, well, I don't know though, because I'll get back to that. When I send it to the computer, I get the raw file and the JPEG file. You go, "Well, that's cool." Well, just hold on. So I do all this, I set up the app, everything's working fine, but then it doesn't. I do my 27, send it to the app, it can't read anything. There's something's no matter there's 3 ways to put it. There's, uh, connecting it, there's also, the Wi-Fi, and what are the other a hotspot. All 3 didn't work for me. All 3 didn't work for whatever reason, and you can't get a hold of anybody, so forget that. Um, so I went to work on them instead by connecting to a computer. Well, the raw files, they're so apparently, the DNG files are now new. Um, Raw Therapy did finally open it up, so that's fine. So I fixed that. So every time I fix something, something else is wrong. That aside, though, let's say we're at a party and I do 27 pictures. That's going to be the first half hour of the party easily. So now I have to download it into the let's pretend the app is working. So, so then I have to download into the app, and then I gotta start all over again. Okay, but still, while I'm doing this, while I'm playing around with this, I just keep clicking, click, 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 click. 27. Well, fuck, I can do 1,000. Doesn't matter. Oh, and to get a filter on, I just switch a dial. It's simple. It's simple. This is a joke. A joke. 27 pictures, and then this is the other thing. Now I get it. They're going for the experience. Uh, and I want to point out to take a picture, it does a very good job. I think they are similar megapixels, these two, so the pictures are pretty darn clear. I want to point that out. But the only way to add a filter is through the film app, not the Digifilm, or I think that's what it's called, Digifilm app. But it's that limiting it to 27. I can understand, like, we're going limited to 27 because you are in the film app. You want the film experience. But if you just want the Digicam feature, it still stops you at 27. Why? Why? It's such a this is a frustrating piece of crap. That's what it is. I am almost 60 years old. I don't have time for frustrating crap. Frustrating Gen Zer crap. That's what it is. $100 too, which is now $150. I caught it just right before they upped it to $150. $150 for this, $100 for this. This is the winner. Still the winner. Feel good. Feel good about that Camp Snap because I'm certain the people who are Camp Snap are like laughing their asses off. They are doing what? Yeah. And it's interesting because when you feel this, I mean, this is that's not heavy, but it has weight. I'm certain, um, and if you want I guess if you want the feel to, okay, I clicked the picture, now I've got that's that wears me out. Why didn't they just use one of those, the I guess that's the whole look of it. But, they used to have the ratchet, just ratchet and you're done once. This thing or how about just have a one turn? This thing you gotta do like I mean, you saw it. There, I took a picture. Now this how look how long I have to do this. It's just crazy. They did do it to a point where as much as they could to make it feel like film, but for what point? Form follows function. At some point, because even then, this is not a film experience because you got to hook it up to your fucking phone or your computer. Eventually, the facade goes away, just like it does on this one. But I would rather use this thing gives you more freedom. This is the freedom. This is a shackle. This is a in the end, this is a dud. Now $150 dud. You failed. If you were back in art school, your design failed. I think you could have made it film-like without having to make it so film-like that, if nothing else, okay, you really want to stick to your guns and do a truly film-like and do this whole thing, that'd be fine. But you needed an alternative also, the digifilm or what you wanna call it, mode, and this thing, that gets old. Oh, at least have it so that, like, let me take I'm worn out. I'm worn out doing that shit, and I gotta do it 27 times. If I ever get and the other thing, and the, uh the film simulations, if they actually work, I would look through it as I was choosing one. I chose the monochrome. They look really good, but there's only 4 of them. I mean, this thing has I think 4 yeah, this has 4 filters on it, but I can change these filters. Now, to run CampSnap into the ground a little bit, CampSnap themselves have not made filters for this. Other people have made filters for this that you can add to it. They're very slow on getting other filters, but the filters they have on here are pretty darn good. This one, on the other hand, I don't know because I can't use any of these filters because my freaking app doesn't work. And because I've gone to the Digicam mode, it's just a plain regular picture. So I got this is for nothing. I bought this for nothing. I get nothing from this. Nothing from this at all. Even if I want the film experience, right? If I had bought this because I need to, even though I lived through the film experience, and let me tell you, back in the 70s, it wasn't all that. Even if I wanted to, I can't because the app doesn't work. And imagine eventually your phone doesn't work or you have and this was another thing I was reading on Reddit. Somebody was talking about how once it pairs up to your phone, that's all it's going to pair up to. It doesn't pair up to other phones or something to that fact. It didn't make sense, but maybe I don't know. It's very frustrating. I bought it. It's not working. I can't get hold of anybody. I've emailed out. I went on their social media site. Nobody answers back. I get it. The a company can't have somebody on 24/7, though I would think they would have some media people on 24/7. I don't know. Gen Zers or whatever they are, you need to really learn a lesson from this. You failed this. This does not it does even when it works, if it was to work the way it's supposed to work, it's a failure. Um, this $100 camera, which is very simplified, has outdone the Flashback. Anyway, I was very angry about this. I mean, now that I'm feeling the weight of it, it feels like a brick, which is really kind of what a useless. I rather pick one of my other toy cameras and used it, and then instead of this, the limitations that have been placed on this camera makes it just about useless. So anyway, that's basically it for now. I'm going to stop there. I am angry about it, but at the same time, I'm moving on. I doubt they'll even ever get back to me, or I certainly doubt that they'll return it. Um, that's fine. It's $100 lesson, a very expensive $100 lesson. Uh, Not to jump into something. And I will admit the reason I did it was because they really looked like they had changed all the problems they had with this and added raw. I'm thinking, wow, that's great, you know. But in the end, it just doesn't work out. And that's kind of like the way it is with art in general. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, and sometimes the piece just doesn't work. You've done everything. You've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into it, but the final painting or drawing or sculpture just doesn't work. It's a failure, and you have to learn from that failure and move on. And that's what I'm going to do.